So progressively this season, we've seen the entire offensive line unit take a step forward. Now, Sam Howell's getting the ball out faster. The line seems to be playing a little bit better since they shifted to Tyler Larson at center and Chris Paul at guard. And Eric Bieniemy continues to get a little bit more in tune with Sam Howell each week, which is a good thing. Anybody that pays attention to the stats at this point can see that Howell is getting progressively better, and this team is playing better football on the offensive side of the ball. That said, let's just hop right into this film. I want to start by looking at the sacks the team did give up against the Patriots. Now, this very first one right here, Sam has no time whatsoever to be able to get to the top of his drop back at all or anything before somebody is just right on top of him. And if you watch it on the replay here, you'll see that there's two things that lead to this happening. One, it's a poor protection read as 23 over here on the corner is allowed to just kind of march right in and do whatever he wants. It's actually perfect timing for 23 to do that because Wiley's kind of peeking inward to see what 55's doing over there, and he gets kind of caught with his pants down around his ankle, so to speak. And the bad part is that as 23 gets pressure on Sam here, Charles Leno is already starting to lose his battle on the edge over there with 99, and 23 basically, his pressure on the quarterback forces Sam backward into the outside just a little bit, right into the other guy's arms. I believe that's Kyle Duggar, but if he doesn't get the pressure on Sam right here, Sam is probably able to step up and make a throw. That pressure leads to 99 coming around the turn there and getting the sack. The second sack here is on Sam. He gets spooked, takes his eyes off of the receivers, and ends up sliding before he gets to the line of scrimmage, and it's recorded as a sack. Now, it was the right thing for Sam to get spooked here because as he gets to the top of his drop back, you see the man coming off the top up there. Essentially, where he messes up is that he takes his eyes off of the receivers as he's walking the pocket here. As if he's paying attention, he'll see that Jahan Dotson's open. He'll see he has Logan Thomas across the middle, but instead he opts to run with the ball, and then at the very last second he does what I've been screaming for him to do for a while now, which is slide. But in this opportunity, when he slides, he gives himself up behind the line of scrimmage. If you watch it back from this angle, when he gets to about right here, he's still got the opportunity where he could have pulled that down and thrown to Logan Thomas, which is, he's right directly behind the linebacker that's up in the middle of the field here. I realize that this is a split-second decision, and Sam's instincts tell him to run with it first and throw second. That's something, it's kind of like inside demons inside of his head that, he's still working with right now. He's came out several times at interviews and said that he trusts his feet more than his arm at this point. I'm hopeful that experience will break him of that, though. He's definitely done a good job of correcting the other issues that have arisen this season and that were there during college. And the last sack, this is another situation I think he gets spooked. He shifts a little bit, thinks maybe he needs to run out of the pocket. The bad part is, I believe if he would have trailed off maybe a yard or two, he would have been able to reestablish himself and see that he's got a man splitting across the middle right here that basically was wide open. Now here he is at the top of his drop. Not a whole lot to look at, but as you can see, his eyes are about 75 to 80% right here, which is where they need to be. But he also sees Kyle Duggar down here kind of eyeballing him. Keep in mind, at this point right here, he can hit Terry McLaurin with a pass and be real close to a first down. But Sam gets spooked and jumps up in the pocket and tries to run out of it and gets sacked behind the line of scrimmage on his way out. And the reason why this sucks, and the reason why I wish they could have this play back 20 times, is because this man right here streaks all the way across the field and is wide open. Watch him. That is 100% a missed opportunity. At the moment that Sam decides to move outside of the pocket and take off, that man is right almost at the logo and he is streaking. One guy's pointing this way and the other guy's a yard or two behind. This man is wide open per NFL standard. That would have been a touchdown. Keep in mind, this is a young quarterback. He's still got some things to work on. He's really looking good so far this year. I believe he will correct these tendencies of thinking it's, better for him to take off running than it is for him to see the play, develop. And I'm sure that Eric Bieniemy has seen this play, in the film now and has told Sam, hey man, look at that. You missed that. And watching it back from this direction right here, you can see Sam stops and looks at that man streaking across the middle of the field. But as I was saying before, I think he saw Duggar as well, and then he turned and looked to the left, and then he decided to take off. In the close games, it's missed opportunities like this that sometimes come back to haunt you. Now this play right here is a really well-designed blitz plan that gets Chris Paul and Charles Leno both concentrated on 91 while 55 slips through, makes a play, but then Sam makes one even better. The execution on this is just unbelievable, actually. The fact that Sam is able to get rid of that ball and then not only complete it, but I honestly question whether or not that was a pass to Terry McLaurin there or Byron Pringle. I really couldn't tell which one it was to, but Pringle ends up with the ball and the first down. Immaculate play. He makes a nice little play in the open field there too, gains an extra little, what's that, probably 9 yards. But this very easily could have been a sack, and Sam is able to just, I don't know, man, just do things there that shouldn't be humanly possible. And it really is just a nice little rope out there to the side too. And he's got 2 guys that could have caught that. Just a great play right there under unbelievable amount of pressure. I mean, they really did almost get that sack. Now this play right here was almost an unbelievable thing of beauty. The offensive line does their job. Sam just throws a dime right on the line, man, just like right on the string to Terry McLaurin. It's just a little bit high and it hits the tops of Terry's fingertips there. Just watch it come in there, though, and just barely tip the top of Terry's fingers. It's just a little bit too high, just off the tips of his fingers there. I mean, that's how close it was to another touchdown. Now, here's a play that just a few weeks ago would have probably given New England a sack here. As the play starts to develop, Sam feels the pressure, rolls out, and gets rid of the ball quick. Now, I think this has something to do with the way they're designing game plans now, especially at the beginning of games, but it's also got a lot to do with Sam learning to make the play happen a lot faster, learning to process everything with the game a lot faster. It speeds everything up for him as he progresses. This guy gets better every single week, and you can see it on plays like this, you know, right here in your face in the tape. Pressure, he got rid of it complete. You know, they say holding happens on just about every single play in the NFL. And I can tell you that I think I counted it at least twice on this play right here, maybe even 3 times. And I might have even counted blocking the back once or twice. But hey, man, this was a really good gain and a touchdown. And that's not me complaining because I love plays like this. But if they were trying to be ticky-tacky, they could have thrown flags there. Thankfully, they didn't. We see B-Rob in the end zone one more again. I'll continue to say it until I can't say it anymore. If you give this running back a lane, he will take it. I've been actively lobbying for these guys to see more carries for a very, very long time. If you give him a lane, he's gonna gain yards. Of course, my arguments aren't helped any when plays like this happen, where you give him a lane, he gets some yardage, and then he fumbles the ball when somebody punches it out. We very easily could have been looking back on this as a reason why they lost the game. So stuff like this needs to be cleaned up. As much as I love Brian Robinson, he needs to make sure that he's covering the ball and ready for those peanut punches, because they're going to friggin' happen. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's definitely when. You know, it's a part of the game now. It's not going anywhere. Now here's a situation where Sam has more than 3 seconds back there to be able to release the ball. Holy crap, right? And guess what? He finds an open man. This play right here was that big 3rd down run that Howell had. And I don't think that anybody's talking enough about the way Sam Cosmi just owns his man on the offensive line during this play right here. Now watch Cosmi. He just, obliterates. Now for the sake of argument, we're going to call this snatch and obliterate, because he just dumps that man like he's a piece of trash. Look at that. And if you keep watching, he puts him to the ground and keeps putting him to the ground. I mean, take that. And Sam, of course, this guy is like a magician out of the pocket. I mean, he gets out there around the 40, eats a hit, and then just keeps going. I mean, this was not only a first down, this was a long 3rd down play that he turned into a first down by reestablishing a pocket, and then by eating a hit, and then by just making a couple moves and then going out of bounds. I mean, yeah. Now, they didn't get a touchdown on this play, but the way that Sam, the way he's been taking sacks here lately, and the way that he still has the confidence to stand in there when he feels the pressure coming from that side of the ball and still gets rid of it and completes the pass is great. You can't teach this stuff, folks. This is the stuff that has to be inside of someone. Now, this is the interception right here, and only thing I can think of here is that He was trying to throw this ball away, and maybe the ball slipped out of his hand. I don't know what the hell happened here. He should not have thrown this ball where he threw it. What makes it even more confusing is it was first down. You know, you just want your young quarterback to throw the ball away here. And at the same time, I don't want to take away from the play that number 23, I believe that's Kyle Duggar, makes on this play. Definitely not a good read by Sam. This ball should have been on the sideline somewhere. But this play right here is just a thing of beauty, man. I mean, it's a great throw. The offensive line does their job in protection. Jahan Dotson makes an unbelievable catch, holds onto the ball. This is how you like the long ball to spin every single time. Boom. Anybody out there right now that's watching these clips and is not saying to themselves, man, this kid can really sling the ball, is a hater. If you're seeing number 14 do his thing out there and you're not saying to himself, he's improving weekly, you, my friend, need to chill out. Week to week, you can't find me somebody in the NFL that's playing better to him as far as in the improvement category. You can't do it. Now, on this RPO right here, I think that Sam should have let B-Rob have this ball. I don't know why he tried to cut back inward. Now, this right here is what I want to see more of. If our guy gets spooked, he has to move around the pocket. Do that, but move around and then reestablish if you can. Always look to throw the ball. Here it is again, same exact thing. You get spooked, look to reestablish, and then get rid of the ball down the field. Always look to throw the ball. Now, this play doesn't end up being a complete pass, but I just love the way that this kid just flicks his wrists and the ball just sails, man. And it goes right on the perfect spot here, and he hits his man right in stride, and his man drops the ball. And when the ball's in the basket, you got to pull it in, guys. Look, y'all, I get it. This thing is still a progress in motion. This football team is still a game under 500, but they're also right there in the thick of things in the NFC playoff race. So any improvement that they make, especially, you know, on the offensive side of the ball, which has been kind of a thorn in their side at times, especially in that, you know, giving up sacks department, which has been the Achilles heel, it's something to take note of. Anytime that you see that offense starting to get a rhythm, to start to get used to each other, to start to just roll off of each down one after another, anytime that you see a young quarterback get back to the things that made him comfortable and that have made him comfortable all throughout his career, college, high school, anytime you see that, you know that the system is starting to come together. Now, I've said in my last video about this offensive line that this was a three-pronged issue. You know, you had some issues with the play calling going on to set your players up in the right situations. You had some issues with the quarterback itself holding on to the ball too long, making some, you know, questionable decisions here and there. Sometimes maybe choosing to run with the ball when he should continue to look for passes downfield. And then sometimes you had situations with the offensive line not doing their job. I could go even a step further and say it could be even looked at as a four-pronged issue with the wide receivers not coming open enough. The whole point is that all of this has to come together for this offense to be able to click on all cylinders. You already know when you see a game like the one we saw against the Patriots and a couple of others this season, you already know that the system will work if it's done right. If all those factors come together, it all leads to victory. So with all that in mind, everything that offense should be doing should be focused on getting Sam Howell to a point where he doesn't make any of those mistakes anymore and keeping the offensive game plan on point. That includes being able to run the ball some, throw the ball when you need to. Maybe the prototypical, 50-50 run pass approach isn't going to work for that kind of offense. What we're seeing is, the stat guys out there, they're all happy right now. The guys that see things, looking at the game and through an eye check, they're all happy right now. The only ones that are really left doubting Sam Howell are the haters. And I really don't understand that, but I realize that there's a pack of those too. The people that think that automatically the team should just give up on him. I mean, I don't really get that so much as some do. Like, they think that because he has this label of 5th round draft pick on him, that has to follow him everywhere he goes. This guy clearly is better than that draft pick. And this guy clearly is getting better each and every week on the field. The team is not without fault. There are some issues on that team. Hopefully they're ironing what, they can out in season. They still need to draft some more offensive linemen. So this problem is still not going to correct itself 100% in season, no matter what they do. They need better personnel. But what I've seen is very friggin' promising when it comes to the other pieces. And I know a lot of people have been, on campaigns to wanting Ron Rivera, fired or whatever. I mean, at some point you got to say that he probably wouldn't even be on the roster had Rivera not taken him in the 5th round. I know that a lot of people don't want to give Ron any credit, and I'm not here ready to give him any credit right now because I think that Howell is just a good player. You need to be able to plug him into the right system, and he's going to do great things for you. Don't let the 5th round draft selection fool you. The kid's always been able to sling it. There are factors that are outside of Sam Howell's control that led to his draft stock taking a hit. A lot of people blamed it on the sack totals. I'm not here to argue any points. What I'm here to tell you is this guy's getting better every week, and he's exactly what the Washington Commanders need right now. A player playing on a rookie contract, doing things outside of, any quote-unquote experts' predictions in this year. Let's just be honest. These guys had this guy at the bottom of their list when it came to NFL quarterbacks, behind some backups, I have to remind some people, which I think is just completely ridiculous. But yeah, they thought that Ron Rivera was just completely crazy and that Washington looked like they were looking to tank with Sam Howell at quarterback. The joke's on those guys now, the receipts are out there. Please, by all means, make sure to never let these people forget what they said about Sam Howell in the preseason. Now, don't get me wrong, still a lot of football left to be played, still a lot of, getting better to be done. But in the moment right now, I like where this team is right now in terms of the offense, the young quarterback, and with what personnel they have, the offensive line doing their job a whole lot better the last few weeks. Still need upgrades at the tackles, but the interior looks so much better since Gates took a seat. At any rate, let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments, and if you could, please, before you leave, hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscription button. And if you want to make sure that you see all videos, ring that bell up there and hit that notification button. Y'all take it easy. Peace.